Hello YouTube, welcome back to another video. I know this is a slightly different setup, but it literally is like I don't even know what time in the morning, and this has been such my mood and vibe lately. And so I had gotten up, woke up, had a thought, and then came into the last room that is pulled together, so to speak, in my home because I have been packing and just dismantling my house, which is very bittersweet and more emotional than I anticipated, just because this has been my most favorite house I think I can honestly say I've ever lived in. And it's just been so me and just so like so much poured into it. But not to get into that, I wanted to talk about another way of looking at approaching self-care. Today, and this is why I came up with this thought process today. I had the girls do some crafts with me. So like this was like a needlepoint piece that Raelle did, and Autumn made one too. Autumn also did like some pipe cleaner art, and I was just sitting there watching them as I'm teaching them. And of course, this is new. Um, these are new skills, like being careful with a needle, the methodic. Is that the right word I want to use? Like, but the the rotation and the hand movement of taking the needle in and out. Very repetitive, very almost meditative. Having them really just make their own choices and decide what they wanted to do and how they wanted to do it. Raelle just was, once she finished her outline, I said, okay, what color do you want now? And I just saw her getting so into it. Because this is like 10 different colors here. Autumn, she got frustrated trying to make a dog and add beads and different colors. And I said, now it's not time to get mad at yourself and get frustrated. This is your first time doing this craft, this project. So be gentle with yourself and cut yourself some slack. And, if you don't get it, try again. And I just was just loving disconnecting from technology, the world in a sense, screen time, even watching other people and doing what they do. I did have music going, which was really it just set the mood. But I had my phone on Do Not Disturb, and we were literally in here for hours, and I just loved showing them how to explore their creative side, to do something different, to take a break from watching a movie, playing a game, again, watching someone else. You know how the kids are into these YouTubes where they're playing with toys and they're creating these worlds and doing things. And there's nothing wrong with that. I love my YouTube. I love my inspiration time. I'll tell you in a heartbeat, I have so many YouTube inspiration people, and YouTube is just a great way to learn new things. But at some point, you have to do your own thing, and you have to give yourself permission to do it your own way. There is no right or wrong way. There is no, it's just all about you. And so when it comes to self-care, if you can't even, if you're having a hard time with just thinking about how to get back to you, think of the little girl in you. And that's not a new thought process. But if you don't have kids, and or maybe you do, but if you can just, how you relate to them, how you would teach them, how you would inspire them, how would you encourage them, how would you get them to, branch out and pour into themselves, be kind to themselves, is the same way that you can flip it and pour into you. And the season that I'm at, which has really been to go beyond self-care of like outward. I've talked about taking yourself on a date. I've talked about treating yourself, of course. But all these things are like the energy is going out, or you are out. But being at home within, going inside of your head, going inside of your memories, digging deep inside of the little girl in you that used to do. What did you used to do? What did you used to love? Yes, I went out today and I like did like a whole, almost like my own shopping haul, because I hit the craft store, I hit the thrift shops, and I bought all this stuff to create, that took me back to my childhood, that, really just like, wow, I forgot what it felt like to go in Michael's, go in Joann's, where they had these little free printable craft ideas that you would rip off these little pads. Crafting classes, inspiration, tons of sales, tons of clearance sections. And my mom used to indulge me in that. And I would get so lost in that. And I would come home and make all this weird stuff for no one but for me. And this is before, you had TikTok and Instagram and Pinterest and all these things to upload and share. And it wasn't even about having a business and selling it. It was just for me. And I remember like doing such weird creative things that made me feel so good, that made me lose track of time, that was like an escapism. Just such a way to just like, again, another way to meditate, another way to be calm, to connect, to lose yourself from what's going on out there. Because when you were a little kid, you weren't worried about money, I hope. You weren't worried about where your next meal was going to come from, I hope. There was, and not to be insensitive to anyone's own childhood experience, but whatever that looked like to you, take yourself back to whatever, a sense of peace, comfort, stability, calm, creativity. If your memories were school, maybe school had all of the supplies and things that you needed, your meal, your teachers, your counselors, and different ones that were your source. Maybe it was your religious affiliations in your church. Maybe it was your grandmother. Maybe it was an auntie. Maybe it was your foster home. Whatever it is for you, where it felt good, where it felt nourishing, where it felt rich and delicious and life-giving and fun and just blissful. For me, I had my parents, I had, my home dynamic. And that's who I was allowed to be. And again, before you got too technical in your head, everything that you do doesn't have to be a business venture. It doesn't have to be for anything, anyone. It's just for you. It's just for you. You're giving yourself permission to explore anything, everything. And it may not be a craft. It may not be something tangible. It could be dance. It could be singing. It could be making music. So that could be taking a music class, learning an instrument. Dance is so rich. Dance is so broad. Even if you don't take a class and you don't join, anything like that, you can literally go to a studio and rent the time in a open space and record yourself. Get your music, record yourself, watch yourself, explore yourself, or take private classes. I mean, the possibilities are endless. But when you're a little kid, you don't have these limiting beliefs. You don't have these things that put you in a box and say, oh, I can't do this, I can't do that because blah, blah, blah. At least I hope not. I know when I was a little girl and I was making this stuff, I wasn't thinking this stuff was pointless, ugly, a waste of time, or anything like that. I just did it and I just lost myself in it. I ain't have nowhere to be. I ain't have nothing to do. Like, you know, you're not putting yourself on a time clock. You're not rushing around doing things for all these different people. You're definitely not pouring into a boy, a crush. You know, right before you got to that, you were like, ew, boys. Like, I don't have time for them. I want to be with my friends. I want to do what I do. I want to write in my diary. I want to listen to my favorite songs. I want to, you know, get in my room, get in my element, do my thing. You know, you got to get back to that. You got to get back to that. I can't tell you how enriching this season has been for me. The lessons and I don't even want to say lessons, the messages, the calling, the pull from me in this season. And I made another video about always getting to the next level in terms of like, what else do you need to be doing now? You get to a certain place where like, okay. So for me, I'm not still working through prioritizing myself like in the morning. Like my day doesn't start until my face is made and I'm dressed and my hair is styled and I have my accessories on. That's me. For someone else in this journey of self-exploration, self-care, self-love, level up, glow up, however you want to phrase it, that could be a lot for them. So they're still there. So they haven't gotten to allowing themselves like free time to sit and do nothing. Oh my God, like what is that? I don't know what that is. I don't have that yet. So it's okay. You'll get there. It's just another level. It's just another extension of yourself that you have to pour into. Without being creative, without being magical, without doing something that is a release and it's like flowing your energy, allowing your essence to go beyond the technical side of life. So of course you have to cook, you have to eat, you have to sleep, you have to put gas in your car, you have to, you know, do something that allows you to, I don't even want to say work now. I'm telling you, like this thing is, in some of my other videos I said, you got to get a job. I don't believe that anymore. I don't. You have to do something that allows you a monetary exchange just to fund your lifestyle. Whatever that looks like for you. I ain't judging. Don't limit yourself with a minimum wage. I had talked about like making 10, making 15, making $20 an hour. Helping yourself through that increase, being thankful through that increase. Yes, we have to start somewhere. We all have to do something. I'm not knocking it. But that's like going back to your ABCs 1, 2, 3. Because when you begin to tap into like a well or a currency or an oil, what do you call that? Like where oil comes from, and like, anyway, any kind of wealth stream. When you can connect, when you are a pure, in pure flow, in pure connection with that, you become limitless. Your ideas, your possibilities. You can be beyond a job. You don't need a job to live. I don't want to lose some people. But you need money. You need resources. You need food. How do you get the food? You in exchange, you give someone money for the goods, for the food that you pick. But if you know that, water is unlimited, when you know that the sunlight is unlimited, when you believe, when you make the connection that all these things are unlimited, how come money can't be unlimited? So when you can get out of that frame of thinking and you freed up your time, you freed up your life, you freed up the strain on you of having to just go all the time, and you gift yourself the luxury of having fun on your terms, in your way, and you're creating, making something, anything for you, gifting yourself. Come on now. It's a whole nother level to this. And it feels so good. And that is where I've been. These last few weeks have been like, do less, receive more. Create more, feel better. Be patient, slow down, wait, equals more peace, more stability, more answers, more like it's gonna be okay. But I want to come back to the crafting, to the creativeness, to all of that, because it is another extension of self-care that you and only you can give yourself by, again, taking the little girl in you, putting her across from you and holding her hand and holding her face and rubbing her back and stroking her hair and pushing her hair back and or putting her in your lap and cuddling her and saying, what do you want to do today? What do you want to do that's fun? Let's play, Whatever you want to do. What would that conversation be? Where would that take you? Is it outdoors? Is it in a book? Is it writing your own story? Is it writing poetry? Is it writing songs? I can't believe how much I forgot, how out of touch I was with all of the things. Because when I was in that craft store, I was like, I got to go. And then when I was pulling out boxes and bins and things like that, I forgot how much stuff I already had. I hadn't touched this stuff in so long. I had so much embroidery floss. Autumn had like a cute little sewing box. I had paper and buttons and cutouts and stickers and all this stuff. I had half-started projects. Old stuff. I just couldn't believe it. That I had, and boxes that I had moved from house to house to house. That literally stuff was dusty. But when I got in this vibe and I had this thing going and I had set the mood and I had my music and my incense and my candles and my intention set and I just got lost in it. Oh man, it felt so good to just dig and rummage and pull this stuff out and get everything organized. And get lost in that. To get lost in myself, to just be. To just be. So I hope that you can look at self-care in a very different way. I hope that you can use that angle, that almost like that method to maybe even help you start your journey. If you can't use yourself as the catalyst of like why it's important, why you need to pour into yourself, take care of the little girl, the inner child, the old you, the innocent, sweet, creative, fun you before the world got to you, before responsibilities got to you, before these boys got to you, before these relationships got to you, before you had anything to worry about, before you had anything to do, to stress, to focus on. You know, what did that look like? You know, were you sporty? Were you riding your bike? Were you taking walks? Were you, you know, I don't know, like, what were you thinking? What were you making? What were you, oh, excuse me, what were you doing? That's my sign. That's my sign. That's my sign. Last note, I think it's interesting. It's raining as we come close to the full moon. You know, what does that mean? I don't know. Might not be anything. Might be something. Might be nothing. I've just been so in this, like, question everything. Everything's a sign. Everything's a message. What does that mean? What are you trying to show me? Tell me. Reveal to me, you know. What is myself trying to tell myself? Show myself. The writing on the wall, you know. But it's all good. It's all right. It's all what you needed and wanted to be. There are no mistakes. There are no if you believe that, I know I have. Everything good and everything right is coming to me as I rewrite my story and create my life day by day, moment by moment, second by second, thought by thought. And we all have that power. And if you've given it away, if you've lost it, if you know, like in the story, the little boy lost his marbles. If you've, you know, felt like it's just been like water slipping through your hands and sand being blown away, or, you know, it's okay. You can all get it back. You can all make it back. You can all think it back, create it back. It's never too late. It's never too late. And so on that note, thank you for watching. Until the next Chronicle video. Peace. Bye.